Hello everyone, welcome back to All the Neffyness. I am working today in my traveler's notebook, and I gotta say, and I gotta admit that I have been loving it. It took me a minute to get used to this new format, but after I did this layout, I've done a couple more and I have really been enjoying it. So what I'm doing today is actually creating a layout for the new design team that I'm on, which is Emma's Paperie. And every month we are given 4 challenges to create layouts with the supplies that we get. So this is the challenge for the month of June, and I was trying to recreate, not recreate, that hexagonal kind of pattern you see there in that sketch that I've got in my phone. And so I ordered this paper from the Hazelwood One Canoe 2 collection by American Crafts, and I don't actually have any like die cutting machines or punch outs, so I really needed this paper. So of course I ordered it from the shop specifically for this sketch. And so I was really excited to use it because I had seen it being used a couple of times before, because I know this came out early in the year, probably in like January. And I had part of the collection, but I never actually had this paper. And this paper always looks so fun. So I finally got it, and I cut it all up into a bunch of little hexagons, as you can see there. And I'm trying to recreate that pattern you guys saw me show you guys in my phone. It's actually quite simple because I obviously do have the proper supplies. I guess you can say that, it's gonna make it really easy for me to just put this together. I also, on the left hand side, if you see there, I've got some cling stamps that I ordered from the shop as well. And so these ones are from Prima, and they have the shape as well. So I didn't know if I was going to add some to my layout, and I do eventually add a little bit of stamping with the hexagons just to add a little bit more detail, and that'll come a little bit ahead. I just wanted to let you guys know what the stamps were for. And I could have, just easily gone ahead and created a layout simply with the stamping, but I really love these colors, and this kind of like honeycomb look to this gorgeous paper. And it's really pretty on the paper, but I think it's even prettier once you cut it out and start using it with your own stuff, and piecing it together in your own kind of colors. I guess it comes with like tans and browns, soft pinks and peaches and yellows. So I stuck mostly with the peachy pink and yellow colors. And the photo that I'm using is this one that you see on the bottom right hand corner. This photo I took earlier in the year. I think it was still Christmas time, not Christmas, winter time. So I just had it around. I sometimes, when I need to make something or when I'm in the mood to scrap, I'll just pick up any photo. Sometimes my layouts are specifically dedicated to the photo, so they revolve around that and what I do on my paper. But today I kind of just randomly picked up any photo that I could find just so that I could start playing with all this fun stuff. So I'm pretty much almost done with this here. And all I'm doing to glue it down is using some white glue. And I was a little scared that it would warp up my notebook, but it wasn't all that bad. Really didn't have very much complaints. As you can see there's a little bit of warping, but It's all good. The notebook that I'm using here is actually the June Gossamer Blue notebook that comes in the Traveler's Notebook kit. And I'm just using it because it's a fresh notebook. I have one that I've started, but I think that I just to start off fresh and I don't know. I just felt like starting a whole new one, even though the other one hasn't been finished. But I do kind of just jump back and forth between notebooks. I feel like this one that I started here, I want to be just all about myself. Maybe, some of my favorite photos, a little inspo, a little self-love. So that's why I decided that I was going to start this here. And then my other photo, my other traveler's notebook, I'm guessing I could just use for random other photos that I like. That's the only thing that I find difficult about these traveler's notebooks is that I need to have like a reason and a purpose for things that I start or albums that I start. And since I'm using here, photos of myself, I figured why not just make a book that's kind of like an all about me book, something like that. So I did back my photo with that minty papery that you guys saw there. And I was trying to see if there was anything else I could back it with. But I'm feeling okay with just one layer. Now what I'm going to do is figure out how I'm going to add a little bit of decoration to my page, since I've got all my little hexagons placed down. And that's when I decided to bring out this, it's from the same collection, the One Canoe 2 Hazelwood collection by American Crafts. And this paper has butterflies, and I just decided to fussy cut 3 of them out real quick and add the clusters that are included in the sketch. So the sketch has the hexagons across, as you guys see on my page, and then it also has like 3 cluster points where you can add your embellishing. So I'm deciding that I'm not going to do over embellishing. I'm simply going to use these 3 butterflies for those 3 spots that are in the sketch, to create those 3 stops, I guess, the rule of 3 for scrapbooking. Sometimes I like to follow that. Sometimes I could be a lot more careless about it. I think it just depends on what kind of layout I'm going for and what kind of things I like to include in my layouts. But for this here, you guys can see how I'm just looking at the sketch to make sure that I get it right. So a note about the sketches, I'm not always a sketch kind of person, like when it comes to scrapbooking. But I really like the idea that for this design team, I have to follow sketches, because it kind of just, I feel like it's a skill to be able to copy something and recreate it. So I love the fact that it's pushing me to try things that I probably normally wouldn't go out and try myself. So I'm really excited, just being part of this team. And the way that it works is different from other design teams, or not other design teams, but my other design team. So it's nice and it's fun to try new things, and the way they both work differently and how they both challenge me in their own separate ways. So I'm finally bringing out the stamp set here, and I'm going to be using these little banners and some stamps of my own that I have from, these are the Target Dollar Spot stamps. I really like the colors. This one's like a peachy pink, and I'm going to add it to the top here where the sketch states there's going to be journaling and a title. So I'm just going in and stamping quickly. Super easy, and I love that pink. That pink is like very soft. Like I said, it's almost got like a peachy color to it. So now I decided that I was going to add a little bit of stamping with the hexagons around the areas where I'm going to be including those butterflies, just to add a little bit of, I guess, interest around the butterfly, just so they don't look like they're kind of sitting flat on the paper, you know, randomly. I think that the stamping that I did here kind of roots them down and creates that little bit extra cluster that you need around them to create a nice little focus. And I'm just going in with the outlined hexagon in that soft pink I first used, and then this solid hexagon in that bright pink. And let me see here, I brought out a little circle that's also from the stamp set, and I think I'm going to be using yellow, if I am right. Yep, we're using yellow. And all these stamps are some that I've had for a really long time. I normally am not much of a stamper, and I'm working, you know, I always strive to try and include them. Sometimes it's just a lot harder than it seems. So as you can see there, I've got my 3 little clusters in each of the 3 places, just as my sketch showed. And now I'm going to be able to stick my photo down and then follow with the butterflies. So I'm just trying to find the right place for it. I like that it's a black and white photo and it's just surrounded by so many beautiful colors. I'm keeping that butterfly there and just using a little bit of the sticky tape to stick the center down and lift up the wings. Now, I know that the wings will go flat, you know, once this book starts to really fill up, but at least, you know, I added a little bit of fold to it and a little bit of dimension, and that should look really nice. I don't think they should go too flat. So now I'm sticking these other ones on the side, and I'm really, at this point, I'm really liking what this looks like. So I wanted to mention, I don't think I mentioned it in the last few videos that I have uploaded, but in case you guys have noticed a difference in quality in my videos, that's because the camera that I was using unfortunately broke, and so now I'm actually using one that is my mom's, and it just doesn't exactly film in the same quality that mine was filming. And since I've got so many things, like so many awesome projects going on, I didn't want to have to stop filming just because my camera broke and, you know, have like this huge pause on my channel. So that's why I'm just kind of dealing with what I've got and including these videos. But pretty soon I'm saving up money to be able to, well, I'm saving up money to be able to purchase a new camera pretty soon. Something that will make my images super crisp and it'll be perfect for my scrapbooking. So you guys saw me finish up that top title. The 2 little stamps I made of the banners were supposed to be for journaling, but I found this perfect chipboard piece from the Magni Holmes Chasing Dreams chipboard sheet, or chipboard sticker sheet, that kind of resembles journaling, and since there's not much to what I'm doing in the photo, I decided to replace, you know, or to use that in place of journaling. And then of course my title is lovely, and it goes perfectly with the black and white of the photo. And finally I used a little bit of pink mist to spray around the butterflies and each of their spots. And that's it, guys. This finishes off my layout. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. I had lots of fun making it and taking on the challenge for Emma's Paperie for the June sketch. This will be up on their blog if you guys want to check out all the supplies that I used. And thanks for stopping by today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.